We have decided to make a stealthy performance car unlike anything we've done before.
Unassuming on the outside, but capable of subtlety and stealth.
Well, that is until you actually want to make some noise and go super fast.
It's going to be an epic sleeper.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very proud to announce the Mighty Car Mods E30 build. Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. I'm very excited about this one. This here is a BMW E30 from the late 80s.
One of the most popular cars to come out of Germany. It's front-engined, rear-wheel drive in a mad two-door coupe. There's a massive tuning scene for these, and they're just mad little cars.
Now this one here, we bought it off the internet, completely sight unseen. This car actually came from Japan, and down here it's got the official compliance plate, which is the BMW Japan model. Now, I have never owned a BMW before.
Me neither.
I've never worked on one before.
Nope.
So this is going to be a first for us. So before we jump in, let's have a quick look at this mad car.
E30 is BMW's chassis code for a 1983 to 1991 3 Series coupe, sedan, wagon and convertible. It replaced the E21 3 Series, and our particular example is a second generation E30, the last of this shape. BMW cars are identified only by numbers and letters, which tells you everything you need to know about what model car and engine you're getting chopped by, and it's been this way since the 1970s. It was designed using hand-drawn sketches, clay models and high-tech computer-aided design, scanning their 3D models into old tape-based computer systems. The cars were assembled on what was considered a state-of-the-art production line. However, hundreds of workers covered the seats, installed engines, ground back welds, wrapped dashboards, and applied seam sealer by hand. The M20B25 was the most powerful non-M-spec engine the E30 came out with, which is what someone has transplanted into our E30, which happens to be a JDM spec 320i, so originally a 2-litre. It's light for its feature set, weighing in at just 1,200 kilograms or 2,500 pounds, helped along by its lack of active safety equipment and small size, even though this car was safe for its time. As the PuRiTy has already been extracted from ours, it's worth noting that the car also used to be blue, but has been painted dark charcoal and has an MTEC 2 body kit installed, along with some other questionable modifications. Nearly 2.5 million of these cars were made. I bought this one off the internet and didn't test drive it. It's got somewhat of a questionable history, but the body is clean and rust-free.
We do not have a great deal of time, but what we do have to do is build a car that is both stealthy and ridiculously fast, and we're not going to be able to do it with that.
Unfortunately, this engine here is completely flogged and it's making very nasty noises. In fact, that's not even the original engine that's meant to be in the car. Someone else has put that in there, probably because the previous one is flogged as well. That is not going to be able to do what we need it to do. So step number one, jack up your car, and we're getting that engine out.
First step is to jack up your car. Then we're going to do the Euro handshake and start removing everything we can see. The first thing to go is all the fluids. Then we're going to remove the radiator, air filter, washer bottle, radiator header tank and the battery. Meanwhile, Marty's under the car removing the exhaust, heat shields and tail shaft.
Our car is a 320i, which means it came with the M20B20 2-litre engine from factory. We can assume from the compliance plate that it was made for the Japanese market and then imported into Australia later down the track, possibly because it was in good condition or just because it was cheap. It's then had an engine and gearbox swap to the M20B25, which came out in the 325i. BMW loves their numbers. With a good exhaust and intake, they sound fantastic at high revs and put out around 125 kilowatts. Not groundbreaking by today's standards, but not a bad number for 35 years ago.
For a 31-year-old car, it's actually pretty clean under here. A bit oily, but that's all right. I've taken the tail shaft out. I've taken all the protective stuff off. The exhaust is gone. Next, I'm going to get rid of the shifter, and then we'll work out whether we have to take the gearbox off the engine to get the whole lot out, or we can take it out as one piece.
So up here, we have dropped all the fluids from the car, oil, dropped the coolant, taken the battery out, taken the coil off, taken the radiator out, and now I'm just unplugging anything that's still connecting the engine to the car, because we can't remove that while there's stuff still attached to that going in there, like heater hoses, fuel lines, air conditioning, stuff like that. So I'm just continuing to pull things apart, frothing with excitement of what's going to be replacing this.
These cars have stood the test of time and are loved by enthusiasts all over the world because they're well built and easy to work on. There's some small differences in tools required compared to US or Japanese cars, but being front engine rear drive means there's plenty of room to access everything and heaps of driveline combinations you can throw at them.
Last bell housing bolt. You need heaps of extensions to do this. Like, look at the length of these extensions, man.
There's a pry bar, man.
Oh, awesome.
So I got the weight of the box on the jack here.
Yep.
And hopefully, with a little bit of prying and a bit of jacking,
A bit of luck.
it's actually going to be coming off.
Yeah, man, it's going.
Yep. So tell me when and I'll go down.
I reckon you can go down now.
Yeah.
Start to. Hang on. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
I'll go forward.
Yep, down, man.
And now down.
Can you see if it's caught up on anything?
Can we?
Yeah, you're good. Just go down.
Yep. And down.
No, wait. Hey,
Hey,
we got it.
there it is.
And off it goes.
Oh, what a big thing.
We had it, now it's on the floor. Fantastic. Box is out.
All
Next
right.
is engine, man.
So now
Getting
we've got
there.
to try and either pull the engine out, or this has got some aftermarket headers on it.
Yeah.
They may be getting in the way.
I think so.
So we might have to get them off. I tried getting them off already, but all the studs are just spinning. So
no.
that's not working either. But one step closer, Martin.
Fantastic.
One
Right, let's
step
get rid
closer.
of this gearbox.
Being that this model car has existed for near on 40 years, there are heaps of great engine and driveline combinations you can use by mixing and matching various blocks, cranks, pistons, heads and gearboxes. The problem with it being 40 years old and being 18,000 Ks from where it was manufactured and sold in numbers is that some of the parts are becoming increasingly hard to find and expensive. This broken engine will live on in another BMW project, just not ours.
So it's been a couple of hours, which is probably longer than it takes any BMW mechanics to do it, but it is our first time.
It is.
And
And there's some new funny things. There's different kinds of sockets required, and I've never had to use extensions like that on a gearbox to get it off, but the gearbox itself is quite small and light.
And one engine mounts a 16 mil, the other one's a 17 mil, though I don't know if that's, I can't imagine the Germans doing that from factory.
No, I don't think
Anyway,
so.
so we're just going to see now what's still connected.
Start putting some pressure on. We've undone everything we can see, but there's a lot of stuff you can't see in this engine bay, so we're just going to start to apply some pressure and see what falls out.
It actually looks
Sounds
like
good.
it's lifting up.
Yeah, man. I think there's just a few small things still connected down here, but if you can go... Oh, hang on. What have we got? We have brake booster.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll lift. So
Yep.
brake booster's cut.
All right, so see if we get caught up on the steering rack will be the next thing, and the headers, and power steering I think as well. Header's going to be okay, but power steering will be the next thing.
Yeah,
so let's
okay.
stop and have a look at that. Should be easy enough to disconnect. Yeah, cool. One big banjo bolt, alternator off banjo bolt, and a hose clamp, and that's going to come out, dude.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Martin. That was a weird noise.
All right, what's rubbing? We just stop when something starts rubbing, basically. One random bit of wiring there.
There you go. Up. Maybe I need to go up, then you've got to tilt it the other way, maybe, Marty.
Yeah, I think you're good though. Hang on, something else plugged in. What's that? I think we're good, man.
All right. We're clear.
Yeah, so you
So?
keep going and then we can start dragging it forward. Oh God.
All right, so it looks like we're clear. There's a lot of liquid
my
coming
God.
out.
It's just dropping its guts everywhere.
But
Oh, right. I just grabbed the hose just as it emptied everything onto our floor. One more cable, hang on.
okay,
Something else here.
well,
Yep. Dude, we're clear, I think.
that is amazing.
Hang on. What's this? This is some kind of electronics for...
Chop, chop.
Oh, it's like a relay box here, hold on.
All right.
We're out.
Oh,
There she is, man.
there it is.
It's a big, heavy thing. Looks pretty cool, though. I mean, considering that's 31 years old, or nearabouts. I don't know exactly what car it was out of, but not this one.
Never to be back in again, mate.
Or is it?
All right.
Look at that. Look at all that room for activities. Oh, the amount of space in there is just excellent. The tunnel goes the right way. There's a steering rack. There's fuel supply. And there's power. Everything you need for a recipe.
That's right, Martin.
Tasty, tasty automotive recipe.
A delicious piece of grandma's pie, Martin.
Oh yeah. The engine is out of the E30, a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be just because of access and weird bolts and stuff, but very interesting. Two of us, couple of hours, the motor's out.
See you next episode, everybody. Thank you very much. That was epic.
So good.
What a mess.
Stinks like an old car. Can you clean up? I really don't want to.